Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Achaim. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And this is your brother about one back again with another video. And what we're going to go into is the bread and the circuses. They are in full effect. Okay, the bread and the circuses, they are in full effect. And basically what you have, going on the earth right now is because of this right precept right here. Okay, because victuals, and let's get that word victual. And basically the word victual goes back to vit, which means food, but even more so than food. Okay, lively. Let's just read that. Let's read that. Okay, so let's start from the top. 1300 retail is singular from Anglo-French and Old French retail, food, nourishment, provisions. Okay, so the word victual, it goes back to the word victuals, which goes back to the word food. Okay, so now let's get the definition for the word victuals. And now that we know the etymology. Okay, so this is the word definition for the word victual: food fit for human consumption, food supplies, provisions of food, meat provision, generally used in plural, signifying commonly food for human beings prepared for eating. Okay, and that's what we're talking about right now. Like I said, the bread and the circuses are in full effect upon the earth. And basically, what that means is all the distractions that Esau Edom has set up, for the people to be distracted by, the two-thirds and the heathen, so on and so forth, while he takes more of your rights away, puts in wicked decrees in order to bring you, to destruction, bring you to ruin. Okay, to force you to to force you to accept his NWO, or basically face destruction. And that's what we're talking about right here. Okay, so 2nd Ezra 16 verse 25: for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that's right. So basically, you should be preparing for a famine upon the earth. Okay, because that's what Esau Edom is about to set up upon the earth. Because right now, they will tell you that, oh well, you are living better than any human at any point in history, right? You have more food, more resources, okay, more ways to entertain yourself, in other words, to distract yourself, because that's what all this that's what all this boils down to. All the resources, all the amenities in this society, or in this kingdom, is basically a distraction in order to keep you away from learning the truth, in order to dull your spirit, okay, and to turn you, basically to turn you, to make you less and less aware of what's going on around you, to remove your sobriety, your temperance from you, and turn you into a zombie. Okay, and that's why that's why that's why the distractions are all out there. Okay, that's why the news media doesn't bring out any actual news, but it's constantly distracting you with drama, entertainment news. What's the latest thing as is on the news right now? After the I don't really know what's on the news right now. The big thing that's on the news right now after the Roe v. Wade. I don't know what's on the news right now. I think it's that twerking politician, right? That's the big thing on the news right now. And you have to bear with me. But all these things are basically distractions to keep you away from the evils that are being multiplied upon the earth in the times that we're living in right now. Just in the past few months, more and more information about different things being cut off, different, you know, strategies all over the earth. And now you're seeing more and more countries, Sri Lanka, Kenya, and so on. So many countries, having protests, okay, having revolts. And I did a video about that. There's violent unrest breaking out all throughout the earth. That's that second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Because of what? Because of the shortages, because of the inflation. The price of foods are going up because the price of the currency all over the earth is reducing. The value of that currency all over the earth is reducing. Okay, and now while you are being distracted, and this is especially for the two-thirds of our people, because it's always be Jake. Okay, all these distractions are targeted towards you Israelites to dull your spirit so that you will not know what is going on the earth. And while you are being distracted, the whole earth was burning. It's like an up was is burning. Okay, the distractions are keeping you from seeing the fall and the destruction of the Neo-Roman Empire, because we go back to the origin of bread and circuses, and I've done videos on this before. It was used as a way, okay, giving the people food and entertainment in order to keep them from seeing the actual falling of the Roman Empire, because now all the comparisons are being brought forth. Is America, is the West falling like the Roman Empire? Is the West falling like the Roman Empire? The similarities between the fall of the West and the fall of Rome, right? All the similarities are being brought up because this is the revised Roman Empire, and the same way it fell and the same way the first Roman Empire fell is the same way that this one is falling as well. But the only difference is that at the end of that fall, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come with his destruction. And that's what the second Ezra 16 verse 22 is talking about. The only way to escape the hunger is either to be a man of the Lord, and that only applies for the Israelites. But for the rest of you heathen, the only way to escape is by taking Esau Edom's mark, accepting the great reset. And but if you do that, the sword shall fall upon you, and that sword is the judgment of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh. Okay, because make no mistake about it, all you preppers, all you doomsday people that think that you'll be able to hide yourself off when that time comes. These devils are prepared for you, man. And if you are living in Babylon the Great, there is nowhere to hide, because even if you escape, even if you have food for long enough and you're able to hide out somewhere and and all the troubles pass by you, the nukes aren't going to forget you. The nukes aren't going to pass by you. Okay, and the same thing goes for all you heathen all over the earth. There is no, you might be able to escape from Esau, Edom. Granted, you can do that because, as you can clearly see, this devil is not very efficient in what he does, but you will not be able to escape the judgments of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. And these distractions, okay, that's what we just call it basically, because I try to remember this all the time, but there is a hormone called, and let's bring that out, dopamine. And that's what Esau Edom is using to distract all of you people on the earth from what he is doing. Okay, so while you are using all these bread and circuses, okay, all the different methods that Esau Edom has left for you to distract yourselves, to keep yourselves occupied, and to stop yourselves, and to stop you from seeing what is happening on the earth. He is creating more shortages, creating more creating more shortages, causing more crises on the earth, destroying the economy of the whole earth, destroying the infrastructure that has been set up on the whole earth. So this is the word for dopamine, and the way that and by doing this to ensure that the people don't rebel. Okay, while he's doing this, he has drop them. He does this by giving you all these so-called entertainment, okay, these distractions to keep you addicted, okay. And the addiction is, all addictions go back to this, okay, dopamine. So this is the definition of the word dopamine, and it reads: dopamine is a type of neurotransmitter your body makes, and your nervous system uses it to send message between nerve cells. That's why it's sometimes called a chemical messenger. Dopamine plays a role in how we feel pleasure. It's a big part of our unique human ability to think and plan. It helps us strive, focus, and find things interesting. Your body spreads it along four major pathways in the brain. Like most other systems in the body, you don't notice it or maybe even know about it until there's a problem. Okay, and basically what dopamine is the pleasure hormone. Okay, you get the dopamine hit is what causes Another one, I want to get some more, but it's basically going to the same thing, okay? And what it is the pleasure hormone, right? So I'm trying to see if I can get more. So let me try this dopamine definition. I don't think I don't think that's definition that explains what dopamine actually is properly, okay? So this is the dopamine definition. A monoamine neurotransmitter formed in the brain by the decarboxylation of dopa and essential to the normal functioning of the central nervous system. A reduction in its concentration within the brain is associated with Parkinson's disease, a neurotransmitter associated with movement, attention, learning, and the brain's pleasure and reward system. A monoamine neurotransmitter found in the brain and essential for the normal functioning of the central nervous system. As a drug, trade names dopastat and entropine. It is used to treat shock and hypotension. So yeah, okay, not really. Okay, let's try this one. Not connecting. So basically, what it is the let's just use no, still the same definition. Let's just say it is the pleasure hormone. Okay, basically when your body is feeling a form of pleasure, in any way. Okay, whether it's a feeling of accomplishment, whether it's sex. Okay, so on and so forth. It's this dopamine hormone that is being spread to cause you to feel that. Okay, and that's why all these different addictions that people have, it's all addictions in order to trigger that dopamine effect within their body. So all these addictions, it goes back to that dopamine, okay? If you're talking about it chemically. So what Esau Edom has done is he's trying to trying to keep the people distracted, with these rituals, with these bread and circuses, in order to make them, like I said, blind to what is going on the earth. So let's get this in the book of Micah, the second chapter. Woe to them that devise evil upon their beds, right? Micah 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And this is exactly what Esau Edom is doing upon the earth. That's why you can see in different countries, that majority of what goes on in it, okay, the policies that are being sent forth, the resources even that are being farmed from the lands are all controlled by Esau Edom. The leaders as well are puppet leaders controlled by Esau Edom. That's why all of the unrighteous decrees, the wicked decrees are so easily pushed forth by Esau Edom, okay? And these devils, they believe that their plans right now, what they are doing on the earth, that they can easily hide it, they can be secretive about it. Nobody will see them. Nobody will be able to know what they are doing because because what they have used all these methods of distracting and keeping the people too preoccupied in seeking the pleasures of this world, because that's basically what Esau Edom has done. Cause the people on the earth, especially our people, okay, especially two-thirds of our people, to be following and seeking after the pleasure of this world, and to focus on righteousness, and to focus on what is really important, as in the end of days, right? To measure the time diligently, as the scriptures say, redeem the times because the days are evil. Okay, so let's get this. The eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than. Here it is. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 23, verse 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, Who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, the walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering his most secret paths. Okay. And these devils, okay, Esau Edom, the elites of Esau Edom, they believe that nobody on the earth is seeing them. Nobody on the earth knows what they are up to, okay, and knows what they are planning, and knows their secret councils and what they speak about in these secret meetings, like for example the type that happen, the things that happen in the dark, like in the Bohemian Grove, okay. But what they don't understand is that, as the scriptures say, the eyes of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and they are beholding all the ways of men, right? And seeing all the secret things that they are doing. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, that's why you know what is happening on the earth, because a lot of the information they are seeing, they're being revealed even by Esau, Edom, and most importantly, more importantly, by the men of the Lord. Okay. These devils aren't even planning for that to happen. It just comes out of nowhere. And that's why you always have sometimes when you see somebody getting silenced, out of nowhere after they reveal some information, because these devils, they didn't want that information coming out. Because make no mistake, you have some information that Esau actually wanted to come out for the people to know about, in order to, because even the scriptures tell you that the Most High will cause their own. That's Psalm 64, I believe, verse 8. And the Most High will cause the tongue of Esau Edom to fall upon them, and they that see them shall. Let's get that. Let's get that. I think that should be Psalm 64. Psalm 64 verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. And that's right, because once these devils expose themselves, everybody will see them for who they are, and run away from them, okay, run away from them, being the wicked, okay, being the basest men of the earth. Okay. And I want to get a few more precepts, going into this, okay. I want to get a few more precepts. You know what? Now, so I'm thinking I was going to end it right here. So, with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.